Hello and welcome to my craft room. It's Rhoda. Have you ever went out to eat and you had all these wonderful little containers that your food come in and you thought, what could I do with those? Well, I'm going to show you what to do with each one of these little ideas I come up with. This was from Wendy's. They were giving us our condiments and items for the salads in this. This was for chocolate chip cookies at McDonald's. And, of course, the apple pie from McDonald's. So, let me start by showing you my newest project that I'm working on, my butterfly journal. And then I'll get to these. So, I'm challenging myself to go digitalist. So, I've got so many new pads that I've bought. I said I've got to just use pads this time. I've got a few dyed papers I can use. And there may be a little snitch of a digital here and there, but not like a page. It's just going to be like an addition. So I'm using these pads that I got from Recollections from Michael's and Into the Garden and Butterfly Collage. I've also got a few other things that I've added that aren't from Michael's. I can't remember because I pulled out so many things. So many things. So here is a bag of items that I've made up. That has all kinds of things to do with butterflies. So that's going to be my ephemera and items that's going to go in. And then I've got the cover I just got done with. And I thought it turned out pretty neat. It's really bright. You might need sunglasses. I've got metal ends on them. A metal book plate. I kind of put field label. And so I had this coin. Can you see? It's like one of those quarter or $50 coin protectors, and I had glued some little dried flowers in there, and then I put like a thin ribbon around it, and I thought, well, maybe I could pull that down. It looks like a magnifying glass. So that's my idea there. Plus I was pretending, I like the tab binding idea. I haven't tried that yet, but I put these strips across there and wove these thin ribbons in to simulate tab binding. Maybe you can see it better that way. And then the back is just the material. And all this is another lasagna box. And I just sew material on either side of the lasagna box. That's all I'm doing. So here are my pockets that I've made for the inside. They're both gusseted. They're scraps from my stash over there. And these are the 3 signatures. I've got a rubber band on them right now because I'm still going to get in here and mess around and cut and trim and rip or something, stamp. And I'm going to put this in with a hidden spine. So I'm not going to be having to worry about messing up my outside any. So the papers are, like I said, a collage of different paper pads and stuff, and I just kind of went in and I'm trying to figure out if I want to do different levels. Like this, I'm going to glue these 2 pieces. This is one solid 12 by 12. And I cut it in half. And what I'm going to do is probably glue it this way or glue it this way where I can do a pocket. And this was, I saw this from Carrie the Crafter. He did these great antiquarian pages. And he just like took a page and stamped different things on it. And some word stamping and focal point stamping kind of thing. And then I've got ways I'm going to cover the back here. That's what some of the little guys I'm going to show you today. I'm going to be using all these are all one-sided papers from the pads. So I need to do something to cover that white. And some of what I've got in my bag over there will cover that, but I need to do probably stencil. There's different ways to plan to do that. You can actually stick. This one I really did a lot of work on last night. This was my last one. But in this scenario, I actually put the 2 pieces together and glued big pockets. So I didn't have to worry about covering the white. And here was an envelope, and I stuck that there before I glued it inside, and then I made a pocket at the top. And here was one where I had some notebook paper that I had dyed, and so I actually put that on the back of my one-sided paper, and that worked great. And here was an idea I come up with. And it is using the game spinners. And what you do is you pull that open. It looked like a pocket. Well, it's actually like a see-through little pocket here with a a pansy, a pansy in it. That flips down. You've got all this secret journaling in here. Then you got to flip this around. My punch wasn't big enough to make that hole big. I needed a 1.5 or something. And then that flips open and you got more secret journaling. So that was my little idea there. And you had to have this little game spinner here to hold the pocket shut. But other than that, it could be used as a pocket. You can stick something inside. I got this little idea from Keong Shotwell, Wonders by Wink. She was doing something on her YouTube channel showing how to do a see-through pocket with a flower inside. I thought that was so beautiful. And here I just used vellum to make my little pockets. I didn't want to hide all the pretty colors. But that's about what I've got. I've got to cover the back parts of these white pages. So that's our plan. Our plan. Now, our next item of business, we're going to do the cookie bag. And what I did with the cookie bag, I got to lay this out so I know what positions everything is. Okay, the cookie bag I took, and it's, what is it? It's about 6 by 8. So it was too big to go on a page. That was the problem with all of these items. They were just too big to go on your page. So I folded it like that. And what I have gotten is 3 pockets. I got let's see. You could have a pocket going in this way, or you could have your pocket going in this way and this way. And I think that's the way I chose it. But you could have a top-loading pocket if you would like. And okay, let's say that this is your page that you're going to cover. Now, since the page opens this way, you would probably want your item to go this way. So you're able to tuck in from the outside edge. Or you could have it this way if you chose to go for this side. And see, this is one that I need to cover. So I'm probably going to stencil or ink real heavily on the outside edge. Or do a script stamp or something on there to take my eye away from all that blinding white. So, anyhow. So, what my decision was here, we are going to glue. And I've got my little papers all measured out. And all you got to do is just, and I've got scraps. Let me show you my scraps. Okay, here are my scraps. When I was cutting my pages down to size, which is the 9 by 6, you know, well, 8.5 by 11, I should say. I just throw all my scraps over here, and you can see them all. Some of them don't even belong in this, but these are scraps I had from before. So I just grab from this pile, and I keep using whatever I've got. Now, I'll eventually get rid of all this because I'm going to do other pockets, and I may line the pages with some of these strips to make pockets, you know, going up and down the page. But anyway, don't ever get rid of your scraps of the current project you're working on until you're totally done with it. Okay, back to it. Now, what we're going to do first is, what I did is I took one of my scraps from over there, and I tucked it up inside right there, and I'm going to glue it down. If you want to glue down this gusset, you go right ahead, because we are not going to use it. It might just get in the way. So just kind of put a little glue line in there and glue that down for now. And you've got little pieces of your bag here and there. You may have to do a little bit of a glue with just to get it under control. And we're going to go over here and put this under there. Yeah, I didn't want to worry about all these little flaps and things that's going on in this, so I didn't want them to get in the way. I hope everybody's doing well. I should have said that earlier on. I got so excited. But yes, I hope everybody is doing well today. All my new subscribers, thank you for coming to visit and like me enough to subscribe to me. All my old subscribers, thank you. Y'all are so much a support system for me, and I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get my ideas cemented in for this new year and what I might want to do. And, you know, it's just, it's an outlet for me to get on here and kind of just share my ideas with you. And I'm hoping to get to where I've got things that everybody could participate in. I don't like to put things out here of, you know, you don't have this or you don't have that. A lot of people don't do digitals. So that was my whole challenge to myself here, to use scrapbook paper and just other papers here and there. I had a few notebook pages that I had dyed. I have some of my own dyed pages from this summer and from me starting to bake, and they are going to make up to a nice little journal, I believe. I'm really happy with how it's turning out, and you know, challenging myself to figure out how to actually use them, especially if they're one-sided. Because, all right, which is the I want the brighter side. I think this is the brighter side. And all I did here was I took a little piece of my pink dyed paper, my copy paper, and I measured it to be the size of this top piece. So I can't really give you numbers because you're having to measure to the size of your recycled piece. Sometimes they're different sizes. I know I've noticed a few of these bags have shrunk. You know how it is over the last few years. Everything has went up in price and shrunk in quantity. So what we're going to do is going to put this on here. And I think I tried to cover the whole thing. That may have been what I did. So we're just going to put that on there. It's going to act as a frame to this little pretty right here, which was another scrap. It's a page in the butterfly journal. And what we're going to do first is we're going to see if we need to trim. Nope, I think I must have cut that just right. But we are going to go ahead and glue. We're going to glue, and I think I'm going to have to glue. See how I'm going to have to glue two places here because that little gusset is still inside. So let me go ahead and glue that. And I'll glue a little bit on both sides of that gusset, so I know I'm going to get it. And then we'll do this side under the gusset. Actually, I'm going to go on past the gusset, and then on top of it. And that's just insurance that you've got your piece connected pretty good. And let me go on in here and oops, get under that gusset. Okay, now put that down, and you can rub it or burnish it with your bone folder to make sure it's down completely. There we go. And now we're going to put our piece on here. I've inked around this one. I didn't ink too much in this book at all. Just where I thought it needed a little bit of, you know, it looked bare. Some edges look bare. So sometimes you want to pull your eye. Especially this was the upper part of the scene. So that's why I chose it to ink around. Because I want the eye to go to it. And I haven't fixed anything to go in here yet. I mean, card-wise. I'll wait and see if I got anything in my bag. And if not, I will make a few things. Let's see, that's what I wanted to have. The pink to be just a little bit of a frame to pull out the pinks that are inside here. And now, where's my favorite instrument here? I've got a little butterfly to go up in here. He's got a little bit of the green on, the white. He'll match this perfectly. And we're going to... I'm off screen again, aren't I? I just don't pay attention. Okay. And now that's done. That little that little screwy thing there looks like his path where he's flown. Okay, so that one's done. It could have a word on it. I may choose later on to have a word or a phrase or something from Tim Holt's little booklets, but I have the 2 pockets right there. One here, one here. That one's ready to go in. And I've got another one I can do later. Next, we're going to do the apple pie box. I thought that would be interesting. You're saying, oh, what you could do with that? Well, I looked at it. I have to think things through. I probably got some apple pie still in this thing. But it's going to be similar to the fry box I did a while back. And what we're going to do, we're going to cut these off here. And here. And see, it's got these holes in it. We don't want the holes. Plus, we're going to do the whole upper portion here. We're going to get rid of all of that. Okay. There. Now, am I straight? Nope, not quite. There. You get as straight as you want. I just didn't want those folds to stick up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have to still disassemble it just a tad. And what I believe we're going to do is we're going to cut down the side. Oh, that popped away. Sorry, I had to put myself on airplane mode. I'm forever forgetting that. So anyhow, I cut the whole front part here off. And what I'm going to do, and then you're able to trim up all your pieces better that way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut me a thumb pull. Well, no, I'm not going to cut the thumb pull yet. I'm going to put the piece on. Now, this was one of my scraps. How was it? Oh, this way. It was that way. So it was perfect. It was a, gosh, what is that? It's a little over 4 3/4, and it's 5 inches high. So the piece here was perfect to go on the front, which is its front. And then this piece, I backed it with some of that pink that was over there, some of my copy paper dyed pink. And that's going to be the tag for inside. And the little tag here, this was from one of my other paper pads. That's going to actually be the pull, and I'll show you how I'm going to use that. But we're going to go ahead and put our pretty paper on the outside of our front. This is a pretty easy little project here. Once you cut it apart, you just got these couple pieces of paper, and that's it. Very easy. So even beginners can do this. Whew. Oh, goodness. Enjoying my my beginnings of 2023. So far, I've lost a couple days. I'll get back here and get to crafting, and I just lose days. Oh, I think I'm going to have to cut this bottom part off. It didn't make the paper long enough. But that won't hurt anything. Alright, so that's gone. That's on there. Now what we're going to do, and it can hang over a little bit if you like. Ugh, I got a little bit at the top. Well, I don't think the yellow's going to hurt because yellow's in this. Right there. So now, to put it together, we need to get the crumbs off. But we're going to attach this to the back side of this guy. And we'll go get this one little piece off. I didn't trim all the way. So we're going to take the flaps. Actually, this is the bottom. I don't know if we need that. I should have put this up underneath of there. But I didn't, did I? Let's see. Now, see, if I would have went up underneath of there, actually, I could just cut that off and do it. Even when I mess up, I can figure it out. I love to challenge myself. Okay. I don't know if that green is exactly the green that's right there, but we're going to go with it. All right. So what I'm planning to do is to glue that right there. And then it's going to come up above. Well, actually, let me see. Maybe I'll go around first because I need to fit that exactly right. I need to trim it down. You've got to be able to get it to wrap around the wings. We need the wings to wrap. So let's see what we're going to do. Am I there yet? Nope. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. Yep, we're there now. Okay, before you do anything else there, you want to cut your thumb pull. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut a thumb pull. I've got a pull to go on the top of my... Oh, goodness, that was... I've got a pull to go on the top. That was the butterfly. But, oops, I hit my pole, sorry. But I wanted, and I'm wanting to put something on the back side there. Let me get a little piece from my scraps. Look, perfect. I found a little piece of that pink. Sorry, I'm messing with my thing up here. A little piece of that pink that I put on the back side of the tag. Hey, baby. My kitty's hollering at me. He's never happy with his food choices. You have to wait a minute. Mommy's filming. I'll be done in a second. Don't worry, he has plenty of food out there. He just has particular tastes. Let's put it like that. Finicky. People use finicky with cats all the time, and it's so true. He likes juice. And boy, have you noticed the pet areas at Walmart anymore? Those things are bare. I was in there yesterday, and I don't think there was hardly any bagged cat food up there. I'm glad we bought some a while back. Alright, so what we're going to do now, we're going to lay this here, and then we're going to start working our pieces around. So we're going to lay that on there first, and then we're going to start gluing. I said this was the easiest one, but it seems to have been the one that took me the most time to get prepared. But then that was because we were sizing it down. Alright, so that's on there. Now I'm going to do this side. And this is not going to be a gusseted pocket, so it's got to be a really skinny tag in it. But still, you're using up something that won't hit the landfill. And you've only got a few little pieces and scraps left of it over here, so you can feel good about it. Make sure I burnish that corner, or not corner, but fold. Now we're going to take care of this one, and this is going to keep our card from falling out. Now, if you was to choose to go up underneath the paper here, that would probably be better. Or you can actually just cover this with another paper if you wanted it to match better. And look, it's a little off, but it will. There's no perfect in scrapbooking and junk journaling. Okay, that's better. All right, now our tag. Our tag will be, like I said, it's about 5 inches high, and it's a little smaller than the actual thing. Now this, I'm taking, it has pretty little back on it, but we want the butterfly to show. So we're going to actually bend this in half and make this the pull. So our little butterfly is showing. And I'll do us a little bit of glue inside, all the way around. Okay, I'm going to have it sit up just a little bit. So I'm going to line it up with one of those lines inside. How convenient. There we go. And that's all she wrote. Our apple pie box pocket. And of course your pocket can go on there anywhere. I need to cut that down a little bit. Oh, it's just a tight pocket. I might have to cut that down a little bit, but it goes in there. I'll trim it in a minute. But there we go. I think I got that on a little crooked, but oh well. All right, next, our salad container. Okay, now this one's going to be a little creative. We're going to take our bag and we're going to fold it up. And what it is, this side is folded like the cookie one over there, where you have just enough here to make a pocket and here to make a pocket, if you chose. I'm going to do mine a little different. But I also wanted to go in here and have it come in that direction. So, wait a minute, let me find a paper. So it's going to fit on your page like this. And I wanted to use up almost all of the page. I'll get in here, like I said, and do a little stenciling, a little bit of inking the edge or something to draw your eye away from the white. But it's going to be like this. And then we're going to cover it similar to the cookie container. Over here, it's going to have a big pocket, but depending on where it is in your book, you're probably going to have your page all the way open to get in and out of that pocket. But anyway, it'll be very creative. I'll show you what we're going to do with this. So, first we want to cover our items. And with this one, we're going to cover just this upper half. That's all you're going to see. And I'm fine with the craft showing around the outside. I really like that look. So, of course, I dug through my scraps over there and found scraps for all of this. So, I'm recycling in two different areas. I guess you could look at it like that. Alright, so I'm going to stick that on here. And then we're going to do a little bit of that same gluing, the gusset here. So we don't really want this gusset. So we're going to glue that shut as much as we can, top and bottom. Okay. Then we've got this purple here to put in this section. And as I said with the other one, it's hard to give you any measurings, but you're just taking strips or chunks of paper that's been cut to put in your journal to decorate these with. Right, let me see if I can get as close as I can to that edge. It's going to strengthen that edge a little bit too, because, you know, it's just that paper. Well, poot. I can't get it straight enough. Alright, well, I'm still here, there, and everywhere with it, aren't I? Alright, I think that's good enough. Next one. Can't pick it up. There we go. And with this one, I haven't really gone around to having any words on it yet. But I'll do all that probably in my final decorating. Is that how you do it? You kind of flesh everything out and then get in there and your final decorating is when you'll do this or do that. That's about how I do it. Okay, I want it as close as possible to that edge. There we go. Okay, so this part is done. Now, this part, you're going to be able to see the top, the complete top of that one. Now this, I do have to go inside. I need to do my gussets again. Get our gussets secured. Do this side. Me and Mom, we were going to Wendy's and getting that apple pecan salad. We were loving that thing. But I don't know, Wendy's started dropping the ball there after a while. So we kind of, they either didn't have our salad, they didn't have the pecans or something. I know it's pretty hard these days to get things, you know, delivered. So it probably wasn't their fault. It's just, it didn't work for us. Alright, I'm going to get in here and secure this down because I've got an idea for the inside and I'm wanting to make sure that this doesn't catch if my idea is going in this direction. There we go. Alright, got that done. This part went this way. Always get your directions right. whichever way your item is supposed to go. Now this could get glued down here because we're going on the top flap, not the bottom. Okay. I really found some pretty papers. Those two books that I showed you at the beginning, they had some really pretty florals and butterflies, and I couldn't believe it. That one's gorgeous. It's got the little bee on it. It's just something. Well, I'll pick the side that's got the little dots mostly, but I need to get up inside of there. Come on. It's wanting to fight me. My glue's going to dry before I get it in there. Come on. Maybe I shouldn't have glued that section down at the bottom. Alright. We're going to get it in there, and then we're going to throw some glue up underneath of it, because I think it's all dried. Alright. So, this is all we're going to need to do. Pull this little lip back and put some glue right there on that section. It doesn't need to be all the way back. That's not necessary. Okay. So if that's easier for you to do than the other way I was doing it, then that's the best way to go about it. All right. Now I've done a little frame kind of system here where the gold is out being the frame for the pretty little bee and his flower. If no one knows yet, I have a Facebook page. It's called Rhoda's Junk. And I get on there and I tell things that I've been doing. I do short little videos, things I've been making. But the link is down in my description box. I always do it for every video. And if you'd like, come on over there and check it out. I have drawings. I've started to do drawings. I'll have one here for January, here in the next week or so. So come over and become a member or a follower and get into drawings. I have 2 of my paper bag journals that'll be in the next drawing. I believe I'm going to do 2 this time. I only had about 12 people participate in the last one, so, you know, good odds, good odds. All right, so this one was to go inside of here, like a little ziggy-zag, you see? And all I had to do was measure. I wanted to measure to make sure that it was only 5 wide. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I folded it, so that's all you have to do. And then we want it to only be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 high. And that's how I chose to do this measurement here. So now, once you get it in those positions, now what you want to do is figure out how you want to glue it down. So I'm going to glue this part, right? Let me see. My idea was dun and dun. So yeah, this part right here that's overlapping is getting glued down. And then I'll show you my plans and why I glued this way. You have several ways to glue these to get pockets the way you want. But I thought I'd show you this neat way that I decided. And let's see. We want to glue this edge right here. We are going to glue down. I've got a pocket right here. So I could have had a pocket here and glue the top, but I'm not. I'm going to actually glue this edge here. And it's going to start about where the T's at. Let me just go up through there. Whoops. I'll put a good bit there. And I'm going to... Oh, I'm not going to glue the bottom. That's it, yeah. Don't glue the bottom, just the side. Because I'll show you. Let me get this down. Okay. Now, the idea of this... Oh, and I still got to do that one. That's going to be the same. We're going to do another line right here and go down. But we are going to glue the bottom on this one. Okay. There we go. I gotta just rub that down, make sure it sticks. Turn it over. Rub that a little better. Okay. Now, the whole idea here is this skinny enough? You're going to have a pocket here, which depending, now you can go either way, this side of the page or that side of the page. So I wanted, you got one for either side. So it doesn't matter which side of the page you go on with this style. So you got one there, you got one here. I chose to have one up here because you've got a long, tall pocket right there to go down into. And I thought that would be really, really neat. Now, the way you glue it down, you can glue it down to have another pocket right there, a wider pocket, because you're going to glue it down like that. Don't glue down here if you want that pocket to really go deep, though. So that's how I decided to do that. I thought that would just be a really, really neat idea. So glue this way, and then glue maybe the base here. And that's probably about all you need to glue. You even have another little tuck here if you chose to go in that direction. So anyhow, I really appreciate you coming to visit. I didn't mean to keep you so long. What is it, almost 40 minutes? Whoops. But I was showing you 3 different things. And I showed you my butterfly journal that I hope you will keep up with. And each video, I'll try to show you a little bit, depending on how many videos I get going with. But here are the 3 things we made. Here is our pretty little, I don't know what you call it, our That was our salad container, wasn't it? Our two-sided tuck. How about that? That's a two-sided tuck. And this could also be a two-sided tuck. And it's also where you can glue it down on the outside in a U-glue and have a pocket on the top as well. And we have our little apple pie box. And I cut that down to where it's smoother going in and out. I trimmed that so it's even on the top. And I covered it with a word down here because I had a little gap. And of course I didn't like that. So I still need to go back with some words, but you'll see the eventuality of what I end up doing. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Like me if you thought these were great ideas. And bye-bye.